following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com. In honor of Veterans Day and to recognize some of the senior veterans in Logan County, on October 29th, 2024, today's edition of WLCN's Viewpoint program was recorded at the Congregate Building at the Christian Village in Lincoln. On Tuesday mornings, a group of veterans regularly gets together there for coffee and conversation. For today's Viewpoint program, host Dara Entwistle spoke with those in attendance to learn more about them and their service. Please enjoy today's Viewpoint program, a salute to service, a tribute to senior veterans in Logan County. Here's the host of WLCN's Viewpoint program, Dara Entwistle.
Hi, welcome viewers to Viewpoint. We have a very special Viewpoint to bring to you today. We are with our veterans here from Logan County at their, I guess their weekly coffee, isn't it, gentlemen? Our weekly coffee break we have here in powwow. But we wanted to do something special for our veterans, where it's kind of a roundtable discussion, if you might want to call it, reminiscing. We wanted to give back to our veterans. We wanted to give back to their families and some memories for them to share. Mr. Bill Gossett down here is going to help lead, so is Dennis over here. So anyway, Bill Dennis, so we've got a lot of veterans to go around. We hope you enjoy the show, and thank you for tuning in. So, gentlemen, Bill Gossett, would you like to lead us off, sir?
Good morning. How are you this morning? You need a microphone. Wonderful.
The microphone picked me up?
No.
Okay, all right. Is that gooder? Much more gooder. All right. Good morning, all. Major, glad to see you this morning. I'd like to take just a second to recognize my fellow veteran across the table there. That gentleman went in the Marine Corps as an enlisted man and came out when he finished his Marine career as a major, and I salute him every time I see him, and with joy and pleasure. And so it's nice to get together. We miss Marcia Fernandez, who's so good to take care of we gentlemen here at this table every Tuesday morning. We usually have some pastries and goodies, and as usual, Marcia is engaged in helping other people. And so just make a little salute to Marcia Fernandez. The young lady coming from over in Sheridan Township, Annie Kors, comes and helped us. We appreciate her being here. So here we are. I'll give you the mic and you can continue your...
Well, what do you want to tell us about your service?
Oh, well, that was a long time ago. I was... a long time ago. I was lucky enough to serve in the Air Corps, and the timing as my phone ring is just exactly right. So I was a student at the University of Illinois, and I'd made up my mind to enlist in the service after Pearl Harbor. And so one day I was walking past that big armory building over there at Champaign, and I wheeled out of formation, went in there, and enlisted so that I could complete my semester at the university. And I put my arm down after taking the oath of office, and that captain, I can tell you his name today, 2024, his name was McClintock. And he said, "Son, you're ours now." And I knew what he found out, what he meant when I enlisted in the Air Corps. So I just had 4 years in the Air Corps, and I'm very proud of that.
And you, sir, would you like to tell us your name?
Yeah, Sam Evans.
And
Spent 17 years in the Air Force and the Army, working on KC-97s, B-52s, KC-135s, upstate New York, Guam, Okinawa, Thailand, just all over the place. But wasn't a hero, just working on big airplanes.
so you were a mechanic then?
Yeah, instrument repairman, instrument technician, the gauges on the instrument panels on the airplanes.
Did they have like special training for you, or was that something that intrigued you as a kid, possibly growing up tinkering with things?
Well, I never tinkered with airplanes. They had airplanes on the farm, but nothing quite like a B-52. But, well, I don't know. They just, that's where they put me,
Where was your family's farm at?
in Mansfield, Illinois.
So how did you wind up in Logan County?
Well, I was in the service and then came back here and took over the airport out here in Logan County in Lincoln and ran it for several years. And so I've been on an airplane since 1962, doing something on airplanes.
Do you have your pilot's license?
I did have, too old to get in the airplane now.
What is your favorite plane to fly?
Oh, golly, small Cessnas, probably Pipers. That's something I can handle, or could handle.
When you were in the Air Force, what was one of your favorite planes that you enjoyed working on or watching fly or anything like that?
KC-97 was an airplane made by Boeing. It was 4-engine reciprocating engines, 4,360 cubic inch engines, and worked on those. They were very interesting. In-flight refueling. Flew to Los Angeles, California, different places, and just got all over the world, all the way to Thailand, Sonnestrand, Greenland, and I got to see lots of things.
Now, that plane that you mentioned, and forgive me for my ignorance, maybe our listeners don't know either. Would that be a fighter jet, or is that a cargo plane, or what did they use that plane for?
In-flight refueling.
Oh, okay.
Like fighters and B-52s, B-47s with that old airplane probably.
What years did you serve, and when was your service over?
I was in twice, in the Air Force initially, and in the Army, and that would have been from 1962 to 1979, approximately.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for your service, sir.
You have a challenge.
You have a challenge. What is your challenge?
Nobody in the air listening today ever had their first airplane ride in a Ford Trimotor. That was my first airplane ride. Ford Trimotor. And it was flying out of a field just immediately west of Logan County Fairgrounds. All that was farm ground. There was no improvements of any kind. And I found out about that airplane out there. And I got on my bicycle and went out there and asked how much it was. It was cost me $5 of my newspaper money. Ford Trimotor. That's.
Wow.
Oh. And you, sir?
He was a veteran.
So you're a veteran too?
Yeah, in the Army.
In the Army. What is your name?
Wayne Leesman,
Wayne Leesman. Where did you grow up?
in Atlanta,
Did
not the
you
big city of Atlanta.
in the big city? So you lived in town or on a farm?
In the country and part of the time, and then partly in town.
Uh-huh.
Kind of split it up.
Split it up.
Yeah,
So were you drafted or enlisted?
drafted.
Drafted. And
Served in Germany and France. And peacetime, I never did have to fight anything like that. But
what years did you serve?
what'd you ask me that for?
Well, you know I was going around the table.
I don't know when it was. I mean, it's a few years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Just a couple, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any fond memories of, what did you guys do in your off time, off duty,
What do you mean, when I was in the Army?
when you were in the Army?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Did you guys play cards or go out or?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember all that stuff.
That's okay.
We didn't do a whole lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, hello, sir. How are you?
I'm up and around.
You're up and around. All right. For our viewers, you want to tell them your name?
My name is Joe Gaither, and I was not in the service. Well, I wasn't in service for the United States. I worked for the Postal Service. I graduated from there.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you like enjoying coming to coffee time?
Oh, yes, yes, this is a special time for all of us. It really is.
So tell our listeners, what have you learned from these men? Can you share any stories with us that you've learned from them over your coffee time period?
Oh, I can't remember anything particularly, but it was very interesting, everybody's story. Yes, yes. A lot of my guys I went to school with, they were drafted. One of them, he was wearing combat boots before he got out of school. I think he was going to go in the service. What do you think?
I think so.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dale McRoberts, yeah. He went right in the service, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my brothers, I have two brothers, and each one of them went in the service. One of them was the Marine Corps, too, which went over very big with this bunch there.
So did
Marine Corps.
Roberts.
Yeah, yeah. My younger brother, he was in the Army, and yeah, he didn't serve too long, but
So how many siblings did you have then?
just the two,
There's
yeah.
two brothers, so there was 3 of you total then? So tell our listeners, why, did they have a rule back then that so many of the siblings can enlist and one stay home or not, or why, or?
No, whatever happened was, they let happen now. Hmm. Yeah, we had a lot of uncles and things like that that were in the service. I had one uncle that when he'd get home from service for a while, he would put all of his gear on me. Yeah, that was, and he was an MP.
Oh my.
Yeah, he was a big boy. Yeah, he was a special uncle. Yes. Yeah. That's as close as I got to the service.
And you, sir, what is your name?
This side.
Oh, this side, I'm sorry. Here. I'll sit down next to you. And what is your name?
David Welty. I grew up on a small dairy farm in the Allegheny Mountains near DuBois, Pennsylvania, where I went to high school. We were to graduate in 1946. Japan had just surrendered, but Congress was still drafting 18-year-olds. I knew I would turn 18 1 month after graduation. A Navy officer came to our high school, said they had a 2-year special enlistment. We would be considered World War II veterans, and about 30 of us signed up for the service. Before that, of course, I went to a 2-room country school for 8 years before high school. I took basic training in Bainbridge, Maryland. We took tests. They said I could go to engineering school at Great Lakes Naval Base in Illinois, and I was there 4 months. And then I was put on an aircraft carrier, Kearsarge 33. We were based at Quonset Point, Rhode Island. They had signed up a bunch of Navy pilots, and they were to finish their training even though the war fighting was over. We would go down south near Bermuda and come back. They would practice taking off and landing on an aircraft carrier. It was very interesting. I saw 2 serious wrecks trying to land, but it was very exciting and interesting for a small country boy to experience this. The last 6 months I served, they put that big ship in dry dock in Brooklyn Navy Yard. When you're in dry dock, you're allowed 3 nights out of 4 liberty, 3 weekends out of 4 liberty. Just a small country boy, I traveled all over New York City, Brooklyn, the whole area. I had train schedules, subway schedules, and It was a very exciting time, really. I'm glad I served. When the Korean War started, boys I graduated with in high school were drafted for the Korean War. But I was considered a veteran. I was proud to serve. I'm happy to have served. And, oh, by the way, my uncle was ate by cannibals in New Guinea. That's supposed to be a joke.
Well, I did jaw drop for that one. I was like, oh, okay.
Ask that country boy, that small town country boy, how old he was when he graduated from college.
How old were you when you graduated from college?
I came to Illinois in '53 when we got married, and I was a tenant farmer until '74. I graduated from college in '78 with a BS in nursing, of all things, and I turned 50 1 month after I graduated.
Also, your wife and daughter graduated at the same time, is that correct?
We had a tremendous machinery and livestock sale, and we spent that money on education. My wife and me, my daughter and 2 sons all graduated from college in a 9-year span. It was money well spent.
Congratulations. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So
I'm 96. I'm blessed with decent health.
Just a kid.
Proud to be a veteran.
So you mentioned you grew up on a dairy farm. In today's technology world, in production ag, I guess you want to call it, in dairy farms, we see now kids are not going out and milking the cows by hand. They are going out and they get on a round table, and this table moves really slow, and as the table turns, the cows are milked and they go out. How many cows did your family hand milk, or did you actually have machines?
We usually had 4 to 5 dairy cows, and we did milk by hand.
By hand.
The biggest change, when I was farming out here, 4-row planters, 2-row corn pickers, and look at what they're doing today. It's unbelievable. I could never start farming today like I did back then. I borrowed $7,000 to start farming.
Where did you farm at when you came back here in Illinois?
Up near Macomb and Roseville areas. Mm-hmm. I rented 4 different farms. Each one was bigger and better. The last farm was 11 years, and my landlord died, and I had to move. You have to move 1st of February, no, March. That was tradition. Thanksgiving came, Christmas came. I couldn't find another good farm to rent. I turned down several. And all at once, my wife and I decided to sell out and go to college. I enjoyed farming, I enjoyed nursing. By the way, when I graduated, I worked 10 years for Christian Homes at Roseville, their 3rd home, and I was there 10 years. 99 beds, we were always full. I guess I burned out after 10 years, and I worked 6 years at McDonough District Hospital in Macomb, and retired at 66. Can you believe I've been retired 30 years? Some people work 30 years all their lives and pass on. And so I've been very blessed.
That's wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your service, too. So.
You're listening to a special edition of WLCN's Viewpoint program, a salute to service, a tribute to senior veterans in Logan County. We'll return with more right after this.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Are you sick and tired of the telephone calls, text messages, and ads in the mail for Medicare open enrollment? Medicare open enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th. Changes made during this time will go into effect January 1, 2025. Feel free to call me, local Medicare agent Dara Entwistle, and set an appointment to go over 2025 changes and plans. My office is in downtown Lincoln, or I can meet with you at your home if you like. Again, call me, Dara Entwistle, your local Medicare agent and your friend in health insurance, 217-651-8046.
Hello, Lincoln and Logan County. This is Chris Grau from Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln. When it comes time to choose someone to repair your car, truck, or SUV, don't you think you'd feel more comfortable working with the local people you know and trust? Our team in service, parts, and detail have the tools, training, and knowledge that will get your repairs done quickly with less downtime and at the right price. Call the local pros at 217-735-4444 at Grau Chevrolet Buick on North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln.
Welcome back to A Salute to Service, a tribute to senior veterans in Logan County. Once again, here's Viewpoint host Dara Entwistle.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
And what is your name?
Don Tangman. And I served with the Army right after high school. Spent 8 months in Korea, occupied Japan. Then I got out and recalled the Korean War. Spent 6 to 8 months over there, and then 5 months in the hospital after that. Got wounded.
What did you do? What type of service did you do when you were over there?
Combat. Yes. Run around them hills over there for some reason.
So I understand you are a Purple Heart recipient.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I spent 5 months in the hospital after I got out of Korea. At Percy Jones Army Hospital. And I understand now it's an old folks home. That's what it was when I was there, I think.
Where did you grow up at?
San Jose. I worked for a contractor there building houses. Built a lot of houses in Mason City.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you get to retire?
I retired in '88 from Caterpillar. Or 88 I think, I don't know. I'm 96 now, so that's about it.
Thank you for your service and congratulations on your Purple Heart. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Hello, sir.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay, fine.
And what is your name?
I'm Ken French. I was born and raised in Mattoon. And I was one of 5 in the family in World War II. I had 3 older brothers and a sister in the Marines, which Bill will like. And I had a strange thing happen. I graduated from high school on June 2nd, and on the 6th I got drafted, and we caught the train out of Mattoon at 4:30. I think we ended up at Fort Sheridan, went through all the lines. In late afternoon, when we were finished, we thought we'd be assigned, and this captain said, "You're all going back home for a month. Today was D-Day. We don't know what to do with you. So we're going to call you up again in a month," which they did. Went back, went through all the same, and I was assigned to the Air Force then, which was a separate branch of service. Had basic, went to a radio school, Trucks Field in Madison. After the Battle of the Bulge, they cleaned us out, sent us all to the infantry. And after basic and a short stop at home, I ended up in Germany, and eventually in Austria with the 71st Infantry. And we came back into Germany and were training then, and the outfit I was in missed combat, and then the war ended. Then we started training to invade Japan, and that war ended, and they called us all together and told us the really good news that we had dropped an atomic bomb in Japan, and we all looked at each other and said, "What the H is an atomic bomb?" Anyway, then I went to the Army of Occupation and was in Belgium and Luxembourg. We were called an honor guard for General Patton. Those of you who remember Blood and Gut Patton. And then they finally got enough people, soldiers over there, that they could send us home. So I got home in 46 and discharged, went to Eastern, got my teacher's degree, and in 59 I got my administrative degree, became a principal. In the meantime, I got married and started a family. Sammy knew his mother was on the staff there, and I knew him. He was a little guy.
You were his teacher in 7th grade? Or when he was in 7th grade? You were his teacher?
No, he was in lower grades then. Then in 82, we moved to West Aurora to get some money. I couldn't support my family hardly there. So we moved up northern Illinois. And then I took early retirement in 81. We have 2 special needs sons here. So we moved to Decatur and they got tired of the weather on 121. So we moved to Lincoln then. So I went to Eastern and got my advanced degree in Illinois and spent a long summer at Auburn University under a special program. Something I would like to mention, when I grew up, my father-in-law had been in World War I, and 2 guys in our neighborhood had been in World War I, so I heard a lot of war stories and all. I had older brothers with the 27th Infantry out in the Pacific for about 4 years. And my next oldest brother was with the 97th Infantry. He got wounded in the invasion of the Philippines, and my next brother was a radio tech with a P-51 fighter group in France. And then my sister joined the Marines. She was out in California doing radio, and then that's my story. You know, I've always laughed. If a cat has 9 lives, I must have had at least 20 to avoid combat. Guys were picked out, gone, and I was never part of it. Thank goodness for that, but it was worth it, and I would do it again tomorrow.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, I hope you're all still awake.
We are. Yeah. Mr. Ahrens, how are you, sir?
I'm pretty good for an old guy.
You're not that old.
Well, no, I'm not near as old as all these kids around here. I'm the new kid on the block.
You're the new kid on the block.
In this circle, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I haven't been here more than about, 6 months or something like that. Well, 10 months, I guess. So anyhow, like I say, I'm the new kid on the block.
Well, you want to introduce yourselves to our listeners? Some do know you and some don't.
Well, they all, no, these guys all know who I am.
Yeah, but what's your...
The ones that want to know.
The ones
Some
that
of them
want
don't want to know.
Okay. For the ones that do want to know. So, where did you grow up?
In Orville Township, Logan County, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Lived there all my life on that farm there where I quit. Yeah, my military service consisted, I was an enlisted reserve at a unit here in Lincoln, artillery unit. Spent six months active and 5.5 years inactive. So that was sum total of my military service. So I feel kind of inadequate amongst all of these war veterans here. And I salute all of them. But, so anyway, that's pretty much my story.
What did you do after your service?
Well, I farmed. That's all I ever did was farm.
Did you have livestock too, or did you just do grain?
Yes, both. Yeah.
What kind of livestock did you guys raise?
We had cattle, cow herd.
You have crossbreds or
actually,
Angus or Herefords?
Hereford.
So that's why I do like you, isn't it?
Could be. Dad and I farmed together until he retired. I don't know, he retired in about 1976, I guess. And I retired in 2003. I might have farmed a little longer, but they sold the farm, so I had to. I was out of land to farm, so so I retired.
Well, thank you for your service. So.
You're welcome.
And you, sir, we saw you on Viewpoint last year.
That's correct. I was there with Bill Gossett.
So you are his chaperone or his Uber? Are you the Uber for Bill, or are you the chaperone, or both for Bill?
I'm not sure how to describe that. We have been friends for some time, and Bill has been a very good friend, and really appreciate him. But I do kind of look after him since he lost his car. They took it away from him. But anyway, my story is I grew up on the farm. In Sangamon County I was born, and then we finally moved to Macoupin County. And on the farm we raised everything. We raised livestock and we farmed, and just a full variety of what you got to do on a farm to survive. And I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and we managed to stay busy all the time. I went to school in Carlinville and graduated from there, and then finally come to Lincoln, and I spent the rest of my time here in Lincoln. Now I'm at the village here. So, and have met a lot of people over the years. I did work for Sangamo Electric in Springfield, which we dealt with sonar, Navy equipment, and spent a number of years with that. It had a variety of experiences over the years.
You want to tell our listeners your name?
I'm sorry?
What is your name? You want to tell our listeners your name?
I'm Joe Weiss.
Joe Weiss.
Yes. Yes. And I know a lot of people around the area. So it's.
Well, thank you so much for taking care of Mr. Gossett. That's a hard one to kind of reel in, right?
He's a real challenge.
And you, sir?
Where'd you come from?
Where did I come from? I came from Sheridan Township this morning. That's where I came from.
Well, good for you.
I understand when you walked in earlier, Bill was calling you Major.
Yeah, he's crazy like that.
Uh-huh.
I say that with great respect.
He says that with great respect, he says.
I think he says that, but I'm not sure he says.
So do you want to tell our listeners your name?
My name is Jim Thomas.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in a little town called Attica, Indiana. Well, I grew up in Fountain County, Indiana, which I was a farm kid. And in 1958, I joined the Marine Corps, and 25 years later, I retired. And so I'm taking advantage of you taxpayers.
What did you do in the Marine Corps?
Well, I was told.
Okay.
I was an administrative officer and enlisted, and I worked administration, logistics, those kind of things. And I tried to stay out of trouble.
You try to. Okay. Is that kind of hard to do?
Well, it was for me. Yep. So yeah, that was my career.
And what did you do after you retired and came back?
I came to Lincoln to go to college. Graduated in '87. Preached in a bunch of little churches around here. Finally decided that wasn't my calling. So I went to work for a trucking company in Bloomington, Indiana. Worked for them for 4 or 5 years, 5 years, I guess. Then I went to work for an outfit down in Shelby, Missouri, for Christian Children's Home. Spent 18 years down there, and then my kids thought I ought to come back to Illinois and be near them. I have a son who lives in Hartsburg. So I did. So here I am, lying to you.
No, you're not.
Like a sailor.
Can you tell what interesting stories have you heard from, from all these gentlemen here? I apologize. What interesting stories have you heard from them over your coffee times that you've had here that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, yeah, that would take a while.
Does anything stand out to you?
Well, Bill Gossett has been kind of an interesting old fella. He's 102 now. So he's been kind of interesting. Bill Dennis is a nut. He's a guy that you want to talk to him last. But he's a Marine.
Speak up, Marine.
What do you say?
Speak up, Marine.
Speak up, Marine.
What? Speak up, Marine. I'll take him outside and drill him for a while. That's my life in a summation.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
You're not welcome.
Oh, well, I guess we've saved the best for last, haven't we?
I hope not.
So what would you like to share with our listeners? You got that mic right there.
I don't think the mic is live. Maybe. Is it live?
Yeah. Go closer.
Well, I can tell you that I am truly honored to be a part of this group each Tuesday morning. I've been coming here now for 3, 4, 5 years. I'm a Marine. served during the Vietnam crisis. I was actually a geek Marine because I was an electronics guy, so I didn't have the opportunity to serve like some of these people did in combat. I was never in country. But I followed these guys around real close to make sure they could communicate. And I learned a great deal. And I'd go back tomorrow, but I wouldn't obey all the rules. But I'm honored to serve these gentlemen. I'm the service officer for the Marine Corps League here in town. I'm also the service officer for the American Legion. I would be remiss if I didn't mention two people's names. One is Harold Kruzmark, who's no longer with us, and Paul Hines, another centurion who's no longer with us this morning. But it truly is an honor to have been associated with these guys. These are pieces of history that most people don't get to share, and I have the pleasure of having done that. Now, I do each Tuesday, when I'm not wounded terribly, polish their shoes. Now, I repeat, I don't shine their shoes, I polish their shoes.
It take me a while to get this.
Yeah, my resident Major Marine says, "Is that the best you can do, Corporal?" And I reply, "Yes, sir, it is." But it is truly an honor to be involved with these guys. I would not miss it at all. I mean, it's just been a great honor for me. So thank you very much, Ms. Entwistle.
Thank you.
You're a lot nicer than your husband said you were.
Before we close out this seance this morning, here on this Tuesday morning, on behalf of the gentlemen at this table, I'd like to give a shout out to the Christian Village for the services they afford this community. Every Tuesday morning, a bunch of old timers sit around here and lie to one another in the congregate building. We enjoy that very much, and the Christian Village makes that possible. We have everybody trying to help us out here, and they do a whale of a job, so hats off and a salute to the Christian Village.
Do you want to add anything coming up in the future with the veterans' tiny homes?
Well, we have,
you might want to add?
Tonight we have the dedication of tiny homes in Atlanta, House 6 and 7. We have an upcoming veterans breakfast at the oldest church in Logan County coming up, and my age is not allowing me to remember the name of the church. Eminence Church. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's coming up, and we've got the St. John's breakfast coming up for veterans. So there's a lot of things. November is a very active month for veterans. The Marine Corps League the Marine Corps will celebrate its 128th birthday, I think, coming up. 129th. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I stand corrected. That doesn't happen very often. But it's a very active month in November. And I want to extend an invitation to all these veterans. If you need help, we have a tremendous Veterans Assistance Commission here in Logan County, very active. If you need help, they're there. They're right across the street, the big Christian church and the library here in Lincoln. Dan Benedict is the superintendent. I sit on the board presently. I don't think they've kicked me off yet. But if you have trouble as a veteran, go see Don and he can take care of your needs. Thank you much.
Thank you. And again, thank you very much to Christian Homes. Thank you so much for opening this up. We greatly appreciate it. And to all of our veterans here, all of our veterans listening as well, thank you for your service. We appreciate all of you. God bless all of you. Thank you for tuning into Viewpoint. The Lord and weather willing, we'll be back next week.
Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.